everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Sydney. If you are new here, I welcome you to my channel. In today's video, we are going to talk about 7 huge mistakes people are making selling on Poshmark. Just some things I've been seeing around Facebook and Instagram. People posting things, and sometimes people post things and I just say, you know, wow, like people just have a lot of huge misconceptions about Poshmark. Especially I'm finding that people who have been primarily selling on eBay and trying to come over and sell on Poshmark, I can see why people get frustrated with Poshmark. Personally, I started on Poshmark and then went to eBay, so it's kind of reversed for me. A lot of times I get frustrated with eBay, but I just wanted to kind of make this video and talk about some things that are usually just common comments that I see people making. So before I get into the video, I also wanted to remind you, definitely join my Facebook group down below, the Full-Time Freedom Facebook group that I'm doing for 2021, and also my POSHBOSS HQ group. I will link both of those down below. I am doing a training. I have a training video coming out in the Full-Time Freedom group. It will be out probably in the next day or so. I just have to finish editing it. But definitely click below, join the group. I'm trying to go through and approve everyone who has requested to join. There have been quite a bit of people, so bear with me while I get everyone approved into the group. But I will be posting a training video in there, and we would love to have you. Okay, so let's get into this video. So the first mistake I see people making on Poshmark is that they are way overthinking it, and they're just making it way more difficult than it ever has to be. I saw someone post in a Facebook group yesterday saying that they wanted to start selling on Poshmark, and they were just kind of asking for tips on getting started and things like that. And people were just making all of these comments that were just really negative about sharing and following people, and just a lot of things that were just kind of unnecessary. A lot of people talking about lowball offers. Just, you know, I'm just gonna be real here. Anytime you are selling anything online, there is potential for you to get a lowball offer from somebody. eBay, Mercari, Poshmark, anywhere that has, you know, a make offer feature, people can go and use that and type in whatever they want. So there is no real solution to, you know, avoiding those. There are some things that you can do to avoid them. If you would like a video on that, leave me a comment down below and I can kind of go more into depth on how to avoid those things. But, you know, just people saying all of these comments, and personally, it's just people making things way more difficult than they actually are, like sharing. So to share on Poshmark, if you're watching this video and you've never sold on Poshmark and you don't understand what it is, I'm just gonna pull up Poshmark really fast on my phone and show you what sharing is. Okay, so I've pulled up Poshmark on my phone. You can see it here. You're just gonna tap down here in the bottom corner on your app where your closet name is. Then you're going to tap on My Closet, and then this pulls up all of your listings in your closet. So to share something on Poshmark, if you can see this, let's see if I can get this to focus. So you see this little button down here that looks like 2 arrows. You literally click on it and it's going to bring up this screen, and then it has a bar right here that says My Followers, and you click share. And then that'll pop up sometimes, but it's literally clicking a button. So I think I'm gonna go into just a little bit of a Gary V rant here, but it's literally clicking a button. So if that is difficult for you, if going on here and clicking a button, literally sitting on your couch or sitting in your car or sitting wherever, clicking a button is hard for you, selling on Poshmark or reselling in general is probably not something you need to be doing, just because this is the easy part, okay? Like, once you have gotten to this point where you have your inventory listed and you have stuff for sale and it's photographed and it's measured and it's processed and everything like that, that's the easy part, guys. Sitting on your couch sharing things on Poshmark is the easy part. okay? Personally, I used to work, you know, I went to college for 4 years. At any point in time in college, I was working 2 to 3 jobs. So I would go to a doctor's office in the morning, or I worked there, and then I would leave there and go to class, and then after class I would go work at a restaurant that opened at 4:30. So, you know, sitting on my couch clicking a button, really, I just don't see that as a difficult thing to do. You know, people have jobs, people working in healthcare right now, Lord only knows what they are going through. People, you know, first responders, police officers, people who work on the power lines. Like, there are way more difficult things that you could be doing to make money than sitting on your couch and clicking a button to share your Poshmark closet. I just don't understand why people make this out to be, I know it's tedious, like I know it's annoying and it's tedious, but there are just way more difficult things that you could be doing. And I completely understand if you are used to selling on eBay and you know, just kind of list it and forget it on eBay. On eBay, you have to pay to promote your listings. You basically have to pay to get people to see your listings. So, you know, sitting on the couch sharing your Poshmark closet when otherwise you would be on Facebook anyway, all you have to do is train yourself to open Poshmark instead of opening Facebook and share your closet, and you're gonna make sales from sharing your closet. And I know that that's a tedious thing to do, but it's not a difficult thing to do. And people were commenting like this is the worst thing in the world, and guys, it's really not the worst thing in the world, especially now, especially with what everyone is going through right now. You know, I think we should just be grateful that we can sell things online, and we don't, you know, especially if you do this full time, you don't have to necessarily be going out anywhere. You know, you can work from the comfort of your home, and not everyone has that luxury right now. So I do hope that you can put yourself into the mindset, instead of, you know, hating the sharing part of Poshmark, and, you know, being grateful that you can do this and you can make money and you can be sitting on your couch watching a movie and sharing your Poshmark closet. That is just the way that I look at it. Again, I completely understand that, you know, it's tedious and annoying, but you really need to shift your mindset and shift your perspective if this is really something that you want to do and something that you want to make money doing. So stop overthinking it. Stop being annoyed by it. You know, just be grateful that you can sit on your couch and share your Poshmark closet. Okay, the next mistake that I see people making on Poshmark is that they are not processing their items. So especially with clothing, you need to be steaming your items. You need to be, you know, using a sweater shaver to get the lint off of it, a lint roller, whatever you need to do, ironing them, steam cleaning them, whatever you need to do to make your item clean and presentable. A lot of people wash their items. I do wash some items. I don't put everything into the washing machine just because you know, it causes more wear to be put on already used items. So I prefer to steam clean things with my steamer. I've gotten a lot of questions about products that I use, so I am going to be putting a list of everything that I'm talking about in this video. It will be in the description box and in the comments. I will have everything that I use listed for you guys. I got a ton of questions after my last video about steamers and all kinds of stuff. So I will make a comprehensive list and I will link it down below for you. But you need to be making your items presentable. And I know that this takes more time, but putting in the little bit of time that this takes is also going to make you more money, because the better an item looks when you are photographing it, the more money you're going to be able to get for it. If you photograph something and it's all wrinkled and looks like you just pulled it off of the floor, you are not going to get as much money as somebody who is getting the wrinkles out and making it look like a clean item. You know, I feel like a lot of people are hesitant to buy used items anyway. They want to get a deal, so that's why they're buying used. But there's always that kind of hesitation because you can't really tell a lot of times how much wear something has if you're not actually in person looking at it. So you want to make your items in your photos look the best that you can. so that they are more likely to sell for you. So I highly encourage you, you know, just put in that little extra effort to make your items look clean and fresh. The next mistake I see people making is not including measurements in their listings. And I know this also takes a little bit of extra time, but you have to think of it in terms of when you are shopping for yourself and you're looking on, you know, the J. Crew website or wherever you're shopping. You usually look for measurements. I know I personally look for measurements on items, and, you know, even the type of fabric it is, to know if it's going to have stretch or not. Those are the types of things people are looking for when they're shopping for clothing. And it's going to take you a little bit more time to, you know, measure items, but the more you measure items and the more information that you provide with your customer up front, the more likely they are to just purchase the item or make an offer on your item. A lot of people don't like to interact with people. They don't like to comment. They don't like to ask questions. A lot of times they're just going to, you know, move on. If your item doesn't have the information that they need and they find the same item that someone else is selling and their item does have measurements and the information, they're gonna buy from that seller who has provided them with all of the information up front, versus the seller who just put some photos and a short description and doesn't really say anything about the item. So, you know, provide as many details as possible that you can to your customer, because they're going to be more likely to trust you and more likely to buy from you. The next mistake I see people making is that they are not pricing high enough. I see so many people who are pricing at the price that they want the item to sell for, or they are pricing so low that they are not able to send out any offers to likers. They're not able to do closet clear out. They're not able to drop their prices at all. And then also, whenever you price something very low, that is devaluing your item. So if somebody sees, you know, a Vineyard Vines dress or a Lily Pulitzer dress and you've got it priced at like $8, they're just going to assume that something is wrong with it, and they're not going to buy it because it's so unbelievably cheap. They're going to assume that it is of poor quality. So you don't want to price items so low that you are giving this misconception to your customers that you don't care about your item, or it's not well taken care of, or it's not worth anything. You know, it creates this image in their mind. And then also, a lot of people are on Poshmark to you know, make offers and find deals and get discounts. A few years back, JCPenney's did this weird thing where they priced stuff at what they wanted it to sell for, and they have since gone out of business, but they almost went out of business right then because people stopped shopping with them because they were not having sales. People, it's a psychology thing. You have to be able to offer somebody a discount on something to be able to sell it. People are much more likely to buy something if they feel like they're getting a discount on it versus if they're just buying something outright. So please stop pricing your items so low that, you know, people are not going to buy it because they're assuming something's wrong with it, and then you're not able to offer discounts on it either because it is priced entirely too low. The next mistake I see people making is that they are not buying enough inventory. I'm not saying go out and spend all the money you have and buy hundreds and thousands of items. I'm not saying you have to go do that, but you also cannot, you know, just go out and buy 5 or 10 items. This is what I see people do. They go out and they buy 5 or 10 items, and they list those 5 or 10 items, and they refuse to buy anything else until those 5 to 10 items sell. So that's not really the way to start a business. Whenever you are starting to do this as a side hustle or a full-time business, whatever you're doing, you have to keep adding new stuff, especially in resale. Think of if Goodwill or Plato's Closet all of a sudden one day said they're not taking any more donations, they're not buying any more clothing until all of their inventory sells. They would go out of business simply because not everything you buy is going to sell. That's just a fact of retail. But you have to figure out some way to continuously be bringing in new things into your closet. I recommend listing 5 new items a day. I understand if you're just starting out, probably not going to be able to do that. You know, you might have the budget to do that, but just, you know, look around your house, try to find new items that you can list every day. I do not recommend deleting and relisting things just because Poshmark told us not to do that. But do whatever you can to be listing new items every day. Try to get your closet to at least 100 items if you are just starting out. You know, set those goals for yourself. Make it a goal to get to 100, and then to 500, and then to 1,000. And it might take you some time, but at least you have this goal that you're working towards. And I'm not saying that you have to have a certain amount of items in your closet to make sales, because you don't. But the more you list, the more sales you're going to make, just because you're going to have more items and people are going to be more likely to buy from you if your closet looks full of items and like you know what you're doing. Even if you don't know what you're doing, the more items you have in your closet, it will appear that way, and more people will trust you and more people will be likely to buy from you. It's a mistake I see people making, and I feel really bad having to say this in a video, because I think that Poshmark meant well by creating this feature in the app, and then it just kind of, I don't think it went the way they expected it to, if that makes sense. But a lot of people have asked me about this, and that is buying from the Wholesale Portal. I think the Wholesale Portal is a wonderful thing. I think they wanted to give people access to wholesale inventory, and you know, at a lower price, because usually when you purchase wholesale inventory from a vendor, it has a minimum order that is usually, you know, it can be a few $100s to thousands of dollars. I used to work in a boutique in college, and we sold a lot of athletic apparel from, you know, well-known brands, Nike, Under Armour, places like that. Their minimum orders for inventory would be $15,000 to $20,000 minimum. They're probably higher now. This is a while back, but you know, I'm talking about you would have to buy literally hundreds of pieces of inventory from them to be able to carry their brand in your store. So I think Poshmark was trying to give wholesale inventory, give people access to wholesale inventory who do not have that type of budget. And I think that they meant well in doing so. I think it was a great thing that they tried to do, but because they kept it in the Poshmark app, you now have just too many people buying and selling the same items. I have yet to find someone who was happy with their Wholesale Portal purchases and the profit that they made. Because, you know, Poshmark is also taking a percentage from these people selling wholesale bundles. So you have to be very careful buying wholesale. There's just sometimes no guarantees, just because they're not well-known brands, they're boutique brands. You know, they're not necessarily guaranteed to sell. It would take a lot of marketing, a lot of keywords, a lot of, you know, usually the best case is to hire a model and take really good photos of them. In that case, I could see it working, but a lot of people just aren't doing that. So usually I don't recommend buying from the Wholesale Portal, just because I know a lot of people have very limited capital to spend on inventory, and I just don't feel that buying from the Wholesale Portal is good use of that money. So, you know, I really love what Poshmark tried to do. It's just not something that I can recommend to people, just based off of what I have seen and, you know, the feedback that I've gotten from people on it. So if you do decide to buy from the Wholesale Portal, just know that buying any wholesale inventory that is not a known brand is a risk. The next mistake that I see people making, and this is something that I did wrong in the beginning as well, and that is following too many people. People who just sit there and they kind of follow thousands of people a day. I truly believe that can mess up your closet in the algorithm. Just, you know, it's going to throw off your followers to following ratio. So I always feel like you should have more followers than people you are following. So just try, you know, follow some people, follow new closets, things like that. Just don't sit there all day following people, because I personally experienced a lot less activity on my closet when I would do that back in the beginning. So I stopped doing that, and it took kind of a long time to recover from it. So, you know, I usually try to tell people don't follow too many people at once, and, you know, just don't sit there following thousands of people a day. I don't think it's a good thing for your closet, just based off what I experienced from it. Okay, so that is my video for today. This is kind of a long video, but I wanted to just kind of bring up these things for you guys. Hopefully it helped someone. If it did, leave me a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.